Well. Welcome to your 8th AngularJS tutorial, and from this tutorial onwards the difficulty would escalate quickly. So I highly recommend you to pay attention to all of the tutorials from now onwards, because we have finally covered all of the beginner stuff in AngularJS and what it takes to just know the basics of AngularJS. So now from now onwards we'll be working with AngularJS MVC architecture, and MVC stands for Model View Controller. So before actually that I was telling in the last tutorial that I'll teach you controllers in this tutorial, I thought that it's necessary for you to know that what is actually Model View Controller. And if you are a tech guy from coming from a PHP or ASP background, then you should already know this, what MVC is and how it works. But for all of you right there which are new to this MVC, let me explain to you. Model View Controller is basically, you can say it's a design, it's a pattern for all of the web applications on the internet. So it stands for three terms: model, view, and controller. Simply, it says that model is basically how the application kinda behaves with data. View clearly says that whatever is visible to the user, and controller is the coding which would act between model and view. So what this controller do is that it would act like a link between model and controller. So we have this kind of structure, which is model, view separated, isolated from each other, and controller acts like a bridge between them. So Model View Controller, or MVC model, is popular only because that these two run in isolated environments and the logic of the application is completely separated from the user interaction. So controller kinda receives all the requests from the user and pass it on to model, and model similarly, whatever it do with the data, passes it on to controller, and controller may or may not modify that data and pass it on to the view. So in AngularJS we would be mainly working with controllers, and which is the link between these two. So the controller would kinda work to respond to the user data as well, and to the model as well. So you can kinda imagine model and view like two persons standing on the opposite ends of a bridge, and controller is the bridge itself. So those two persons are isolated from each other, but the bridge acts like a link between them. So that's it for the MVC architecture, and we'll be working a lot in MVC with AngularJS because it's a model view controller architecture, a framework. And I hope that this much introduction to MVC is good for now to understand and work with controllers from the next tutorial. So don't forget to subscribe, keep watching my videos, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.